Okay, today I'm going to show you a nifty new little component for creating accessible transcripts for things like flyers or charts or graphics with a lot of text on it that for some reason you feel like you need to display on the web page. But there's a problem with those. The problem is they're not accessible. The other problem is they're not SEO friendly. Search engine optimization is kind of what that stands for. Basically, you have something like this. Now, it looks like a web page at first glance because it's in a web page and there's some text, but unlike this text here, which I can highlight, you cannot highlight this text because all of this happens to be an image that has just been screenshotted or saved as a JPEG and then put onto the page. So somebody using a screen reader is not going to be able to read that. And that is a compliancy issue and can get us some lawsuits, plus it's just not real friendly to somebody who can't see that content. And they need to see that content. The other thing is there's a lot of really cool keywords in here, such as life skill, guidance, job placement, resume, interview skills, all of that. When somebody goes up to our search box and starts to type, they're not going to get this page because it's not indexed. So to help with this, when you insert an image, so say your image was just college is possible and it happens to be an image of text. Ideally, you should actually type it in, like upcoming events is typed in. But if for some reason you have some fancy font and you really want that, if you use the alternate description tag, this description you have to put in when you insert an image that says college is possible, then you're compliant. The keywords are in there and a screen reader can read this. But if you have a lot of text, you really can't put that in that alternate description box. That's just for a small amount of text. So to help with this is something called a component that was created in order to make this easier. So I'll show you an example of where it's working. This is a chart, one of those things that they wanted on the webpage that shows the economic impact for Los Medanos College, and it's a little bit of a challenge to read, even if you're not sight impaired. But okay, so there's this many jobs supported, there's this much added income, this is the average earning, but if you're using a screen reader, you're going to be jumping all around here. And this is actually an image, you're not going to see any of this anyway. So underneath it is the transcript. So you really need to write it all out, the alternative description or alternate way to get that information. And when you click on it, it opens this window that actually describes everything that is there. So you have to type all that out. But look how keyword friendly this is now. There's lots of keywords. How many bachelor's degrees were awarded, how many employees, a lot of information is here. So to make your job a little bit easier, if you don't have OCR installed on your computer or access to a scanner that has it, there is a free online website called Online OCR, and it stands for Optical Character Recognition. So you can just upload a PDF or a JPEG and it will try to interpret that text. It's not perfect, but it saves you time. So here's an example of one that we will do, and this one was for an orientation coming up where Opportunity Junction is going to be there, and they gave a flyer and they wanted that flyer posted that would talk about the stuff that they're going to do. So things like resume, interview skills, stuff like that. This thing is an image, and so all you have to do is download that image, or if you've already got it downloaded, you can just upload it here and see where it says select file. So I'm going to select the file. I already have it here, so I'm going to upload that. And you can choose your language. You can choose the type of format it's going to be in, so it could be Microsoft Word, but in this case I just want the text extracted from the image. So I'm going to say text plain, and I'm going to click convert. So what that's going to do is convert it, but it is less than perfect, but it still saves you a ton of time. So here's your header, and the check mark bulleted list is all here. All of these things are here. So all you have to do is like here, I didn't do this one very well. It should be, I think it was College Code. So you're going to have to go back and check and make sure this text is right. So a little bit of cleanup. So I'm just going to highlight all of that and select it. And then I'm going to go back to the page that I want to put this component in. So here I am on the Foster Youth page. I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to click Edit. And then I'll just click my, oopsie, little green button. I hate it when that little drop-down menu happens. Okay, so click my little green button, and I'm going to put it after this paragraph right here. But before I do, I see that the graphic is already on the page. So to save me some time, instead of that copied text, I'm going to copy the tag for this image. It's already uploaded, so I don't need to worry about publishing it to see it. So I'm just going to select that image. I'm going to select that image tag, and I'm going to copy it. Okay. Go back to here because I'm going to use that in the next step. The next step is to grab my component that I'm talking about. And the component is under that insert component thing that looks like a molecule. So I'm going to click on that. And what comes up is a list of components. You might see a different list from me, but the one I want is image transcript for accessibility. So I'm just going to click that, click insert, and now I have a form. And that's where I want to paste that image tag into that first one that says image or infographic to display. I'll paste that in there. So that is the flyer that I wanted. And the alternative description tag is that thing that you always have when you insert an image. So it's going to be just a short thing. And this happens to be the Opportunity Junction flyer, because the description of what's in the flyer is going to be coming next. So here's where I want to paste in that information from Online OCR. I'll flip back over here, copy it, and then go back over to the page, and I'm going to paste that in. So I also have I have a ribbon here. It's not as full a ribbon as the other one, but it's got some formatting tools. And so say I didn't like the check marks, I could actually change that to bullets. I'd have to backspace over this and get rid of those. Whoopsie. And then it would actually be a correctly coded list items. These ones here are not. They're just bullets that were put in there. So I do need to clean that up. So like I said, there is a little bit of cleanup that's needed. So click that to make that bullets, and then get rid of these fake bullets that are in here, so that when the screen reader reads it, it will be read like a real bulleted list. Okay, so at the end of this, there was a call to action to sign up for an application on their website. So fill out an application, and then I can highlight this text, and then my little link chain shows up, and then I can insert my link. So it'd be http://www. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to go google.com. There we go. So it's linked to something, and click insert. Now notice this little window looks a little different than some of the other insert edit links, but the idea is still the same. Instead of a magnifying glass, you get like a little icon of a computer. So don't let that throw you. I'm going to click insert. Another thing that can throw you is sometimes that little chain link doesn't show up. If that's the case, just hit save and then go back to edit it. So I'm going to click save, and now you get this feedback that here's my image, but it's different now when I hover over it because I have this little component icon. And when I click on it, on the bottom of it comes these two little icons. One looks like a pencil and one looks like an X. I have that little box at the bottom. Click to expand the transcript for the image above. However, it doesn't show it to me. It doesn't show it to me until I publish. I can click the X to get rid of it, or I can go back in and click that pencil icon to edit it a little bit more if I want to. And that's what I meant going back into it to edit the link. So I'm going to click cancel because I don't need to edit it anymore. I'm going to delete this graphic that was there. So I just have the one graphic that's in the component. And I'm going to publish this. So hopefully all is well. No errors found. That's a really good thing. So it's checking the links now to make sure the links are right. You may have a broken image there, so don't let that throw you, because say it's your first time uploading it. So, but once it's published, it will show up in this view. So I'm going to click View a New Window, and I should see my new component, and when I click on this, all my stuff should be there, including the little link. So yeah, so it makes it compliant, and yet you don't have to see all this extra text that's there, but it is ADA compliant, and it is also search engine friendly.